For those who want knowledge and immortality, this is the only video you will need.
Wow, okay. That is that is a drop the mic opening if I've ever heard one.
Right. It doesn't get much bolder than that. There's no warm-up, no, hey guys, welcome back, just bam!
Straight to the point. You want immortality. The ultimate knowledge. Here it is.
And if you don't listen, well, you're missing the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
It immediately raises the stakes.
It's not promising you 5 tips to organize your closet, that's for sure.
Exactly. So, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are wrestling with a source that is, frankly, heavy. It's a text titled The Pasted Text, or in the original Arabic, Al-Nas al-Mulsak. And I have to say, reading this, it felt less like reading an article and more like someone grabbing me by the shoulders.
That's a great way to put it. It's a manifesto. It reads like a transmission from, I don't know, outside our normal reality.
It's dense, it's philosophical, and it's deeply theological. Basically a critique of everything we think we know about the modern world.
Everything, pretty much, yeah. It argues modern civilization is an illusion.
An illusion.
That we're all being distracted on purpose, and here's the kicker, that the actual truth is hiding in the one place we are, like, chemically and socially programmed to avoid.
Okay, that is a lot to unpack. So let's start with the first big swing this text takes. It looks at our world, our cities, our tech, our governments, and it doesn't see progress.
It sees a lie. It refers to the peak of what humans have currently reached, and it calls it all a mixture of conjectural theory.
Conjectural theories. Now, hold on a second. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
We've mapped the human genome. We have rovers on Mars. We have the internet. Calling all of that conjecture or just guessing feels a little reductive, doesn't it?
It does, if you're looking at it from a purely functional perspective. I mean, obviously, planes fly, antibiotics work.
Right.
But the text isn't talking about mechanics, it's talking about meaning. It's arguing that the foundations of our society, our political ideologies, our social norms, our definitions of success, those are all just guesses. Ah, I see.
They aren't absolute truths. They change every 50 years.
So what we thought was true in 1820 is kind of a joke today, and what we think is true now.
I'd be a joke in 2120.
Exactly. And because they're always shifting, the text calls them untrue. It says we're building our lives on shifting sand.
And it gets darker than that, doesn't it? It says these ideologies, capitalism, socialism, whatever, they're not even the goal. They're traps.
Traps, yeah. The text says they're means and questions disguised as ends, and their real purpose, to lure and bring humans down towards the abyss.
The abyss, that's dramatic.
Yeah.
But I think I get what it's saying. We chase these isms thinking they'll save us, but they're just hamster wheels.
Precisely. And this isn't an accident, according to the source. This is where it gets into a very specific power dynamic.
Okay.
It claims that those who know this reality hide it from everyone else.
Oh, now we're getting into conspiracy territory.
Yeah.
The whole shadowy group of elites keeping us in the dark. It sounds a bit like The Matrix.
It does have that vibe,
Yeah.
but it gives a reason why they'd hide it.
And what's that?
It's a reason that actually tracks with a lot of political theory. The text says, power is derived from the ignorance of the masses.
Power is derived from ignorance.
Think about it. If everyone suddenly realized that the game, the career ladder, the consumerism, the political back and forth was just a conjectural theory leading to an abyss?
Would they keep playing? Probably not. The whole system would collapse.
Exactly. So the people in charge, the leaders of civilization, they have a vested interest in keeping the illusion going. They need you to believe this all has meaning.
Because if you stop believing, their power just evaporates.
It explicitly says what civilization and its leaders stand for in secret is not what people know in public.
So it's a classic us versus them. The enlightened few who know it's a game, and the rest of us, the masses, just powering the machine.
That's the image it paints. But you can't just tell people to ignore the truth. The human mind is curious, so you need a mechanism to keep people in line. You need an anesthetic.
And this brings us to the dose. This was the part of the source that, honestly, it hit me the hardest. Because it didn't feel abstract at all. It felt like my Tuesday night.
It's a very, very relatable critique. The text describes a system that feeds you a dose of pleasures.
But it's not pleasure for happiness. It's functional. It's a sedative.
It's a sedative. And the text blames misleading political media for a lot of this. It says the media is responsible for ideologizing all your concepts.
Okay, let's dig into how that works, because it's not just saying the news is lying.
No, it's more subtle. It's that the entire media ecosystem, social media, entertainment, all of it, filters reality through those conjectural theories we talked about.
It frames everything as left versus right, us versus them.
So you never look up and ask, wait, is this whole game rigged?
But the dose feels more visceral than just news.
Mm-hmm.
The text talks about timing. It says, this dose is given to make you forget all these questions whenever an hour of awakening happens to you.
That phrase, hour of awakening, that's critical.
Let's pause on that. What does it mean by an hour of awakening?
I think we've all felt it. It's that moment when the noise stops, your phone dies, or you're stuck in traffic and the radio's off.
Or you wake up at 3 a.m. and just stare at the ceiling.
Oh man, that 3 a.m. dread, yes. Suddenly the distractions are gone and you feel that emptiness. You start asking, is this it? What am I actually doing?
The dread is the worst.
The text argues that dread is actually your soul trying to wake you up, and for the system, it's the most dangerous moment possible.
Because if you sit in that feeling long enough, you might actually figure something out.
You might walk away from the illusion, so the system rushes in with the dose.
You feel the dread, so you reach for the phone, you open Instagram,
You
turn on Netflix.
You pour a drink, you take the dose of pleasures, and 5 minutes later the question is gone. You're numb again.
It's weaponized dopamine. It's not entertainment. It's a silencer.
That is a terrifyingly accurate way to put it. The text claims this is by design. The pleasure isn't a gift, it's a leash.
And the result of all this, your mind becomes charged. You think you're forming your own opinions.
But you're actually just running a script that was installed.
And this is where the text gets very specific, and I want to make sure we handle this carefully. It says we are specifically charged against Islam.
This is the pivot. Up until now, you could read this as a critique from a Marxist, an anarchist, anyone, but here it identifies the specific target of this whole deception.
That's a massive claim. It's saying that if I have a negative reaction to Islam, that's not my reaction, that's the programming.
That is the argument. It claims that because you do not know the truth, you've been filled with biases to keep you away from it. It's telling the listener, your hatred isn't yours, it was manufactured for you.
Which is a brilliant rhetorical move, if you think about it.
How so?
Because if I sit here and say, no, I disagree with this text, the text just says, see, that's the programming working. It traps you. You have to engage with it to prove you aren't brainwashed.
It does. It forces self-reflection. It makes you ask, why do I believe what I believe? Did I research this, or did I just absorb it from the dose?
So let's say we manage to put down the phone, we skip the dose, we sit in that 3 a.m. silence. The text says we need to recover the stripped questions. What are they?
The source points to two fundamental questions that it claims have been surgically removed from our modern minds.
Okay.
Number one, what is the goal of your existence? And number two, what must you do?
What is the goal and what must I do? They sound simple.
They do. But try answering them without using society's conjectural theories.
Okay, let me try. The goal of my existence is to be a good person, to leave the world a better place.
But the text would just ask, define good, define better. Those are social constructs. Or you might say, to be happy.
But that's just the dose talking again.
Right.
To make money. That's the illusion. To be famous. That's the abyss. It's actually really hard to answer these without falling back on the cultural script.
That's the point. The text argues we are incapable of answering these on our own because we're trapped inside the system.
We can't see the outside of the box from inside it?
Exactly. And this is where the source drops its theological anchor. It says, answering these questions must need divine intervention.
So logic isn't enough. Your own intellect can't get you there.
No. According to the text, you can't reason your way to absolute truth using a mind that's been shaped by the illusion. You need a lifeline. You need revelation.
This is a definite shift from think for yourself to submit to a higher truth.
It is. It's saying that true independence from society requires dependence on the divine. It's a paradox.
And that leads us to the most psychologically fascinating part of this whole thing, the concept of the hated truth.
Oh, yeah.
The text says, and I'm quoting here, the truth is in what you hate and ignore.
I love this concept, not because I necessarily agree with it, but because it is so counterintuitive. We are wired for confirmation bias. We think truth should feel good.
Right, it should feel like a warm blanket. It should resonate.
Exactly. But this text says no, the truth is repulsive to you.
Why would it be repulsive?
Because of the charging we talked about. If the illusion is designed to keep you away from the truth, it would naturally make the truth look ugly, dangerous, backward.
It would make you hate it.
So the text just flips your emotional compass around. It suggests that your hatred is actually a treasure map.
That is wild. It's saying, look at what you're most disgusted by, look at what you mock, and dig there.
It's weaponizing cognitive dissonance. It's telling you that the friction you feel isn't a sign that something is wrong with the topic, but that something is wrong with your programming.
And in this source, it's pointing right back to Islam. Search for Islam and facts without biases and fake pillars.
Fake pillars, I think that's such an important phrase. It's asking you to dismantle the supports of your current worldview. It's a call to radical skepticism.
Question everything you've been told,
Huh?
but with the specific goal of investigating this one thing you've been conditioned to hate.
And it frames it as a battle for your soul. Do not let anyone decide your fate.
Do not let your desires drown you.
That dichotomy is key. Fate versus desires. The text argues your desires. The pleasure, the dose, the comfort are the enemy of your fate, which is that immortality from the opening line.
So it's an empowerment message, but it's wrapped in a warning. Wake up. Take the wheel. Don't let the algorithm drive you off a cliff.
It's interesting, it frames faith not as a passive acceptance, but as an act of rebellion.
Exploring Islam, in this text's view, is the ultimate punk rock move. It's the one thing the system doesn't want you to do.
That's a fantastic analogy. Submission to God as rebellion against the machine.
So we've covered a lot. The illusion, the dose, the stripped questions, the hated truth. It's a very tight, very aggressive argument.
It is, and whether you accept the theological conclusion or not, the diagnosis of the modern condition is incredibly sharp.
How so?
Well, just look around. Do we feel like we're living in a time of absolute truth? Or does it feel like conjectural theories?
I think most people would admit we're distracted, numbed.
Right. And the text forces you to confront that. It demands that you stop drifting. It's saying, you are on a train heading to a cliff, and the blinds are pulled down.
And the challenge it leaves you with is to pull those blinds up, especially if you're afraid of what you might see.
Correct. It challenges you to prove your own intellectual independence. If you claim to be a free thinker, can you investigate the thing you hate without bias?
If you can't, then the text says you aren't really free at all.
It doesn't let you off the hook. You can't be neutral about it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we're left with that haunting instruction. The truth is in what you hate and ignore.
It's a heavy thought to carry with you.
It really is. So I want to leave our listener with a specific challenge today.
Yeah.
We all have blind spots. We all have things we avoid.
The things we scroll past, the people we roll our eyes at.
Exactly. So here's the question. What is the one topic or the one perspective that you instinctively recoil from? What is the thing that when you see it, you feel a flash of irritation?
And ask yourself, is that reaction truly yours? Did you reason your way to that judgment? Or were you charged to feel that way by the dose?
If this source is right, that thing you're avoiding might just be the most important thing you need to see.
A chilling possibility.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep asking the stripped questions.
And watch out for the dose.
We'll see you next time.